Celtics. I trust that you'll have a wonderful Memorial Day with family and friends, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
That sounds great, Holly. Thank you. We look forward to that. You have a great show as well. Now time for Say What? Nick Young has been forced into action this series with Andre Iguodala being out. He had some great inspiration for Game 6. Say what?
Dennis Rodman came in my dream last night, and I was wondering why he came in my dream. He had the purple hair, all kind of stuff. But he told me, you know, tomorrow you're going to play a little defense. I was like, nah, that's not my game. Dennis Rodman, why you in my dream? But it, you know, just so happened I played a little defense.
What? You said Dennis Rodman came in a dream, and that's why he played some defense? Swaggy. See, I don't care. He don't want to be called Swaggy P anymore. He's still Swaggy P as long as he's giving quotes like that, man.
I mean, I don't see where he got the name Swaggy from. All right? Like, I mean, if Dennis Rodman comes in my dream, not a lot of good things going to happen after that. Isn't that they call it a nightmare?
Oh, my God. Now, I'm a man that has vivid dreams, so I can empathize a little bit, but that's an odd one to admit publicly. Why'd I play defense? I had a dream about one of the best defensive players.
Because defense, that's not my thing.
That's not my game.
I don't do that.
You said that out loud.
Yep.
Like, defense, that's
I'm not going to waste my time on
He's
defense.
a designated hitter.
He had a couple significant stops against James Harden, though.
That was because of Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
All right, Swaggy Nick. Back to LeBron James.
Dennis Rodman need a bath. Wherever you see him, he need a bath. He looks disgusting.
LeBron played game 100 of the season last night, every regular season game, every postseason game, and last night every second of the game, going 35, 15, and 9. Pretty classic LeBron. He also did all of this without his all-star teammate Kevin Love, and while this is his 8th trip to the NBA Finals, this one might have been his most impressive, just judging by the team that he has carried on his shoulders, on his back, the entire way. Cece, how impressive is it getting this Cavs team, rather, to the NBA Finals?
It's very impressive. It's very, very, very impressive because the first series against the Pacers, and I have to laugh because my man Nick was like, okay, series number 2, going against Toronto. His number one thing was they can't play any worse than they play. That was the
supporting cast.
Yeah, that was his number one thing. And I was like, Nick, that's not, you can't go by that theory. Yes, I can. What do you mean? Yeah. Hold on, see? I was like, he was right.
I was right for a week and a half.
Yeah. And then they went back to what they did. Like, we have never talked about a collection of players, and this is not a championship team. They're going to the championship. And that's because of LeBron James. So not only mentally, but not having the physical bodies in the era where it is about the super teams. That people say LeBron created that era. I'm not here to debate that. But in this era, this is the weakest team. I would like to do a, like they do in boxing matches. As we get ready for the finals, I want to do a tail of the tape. This team versus any team. Y'all give me the worst teams that we've seen in the NBA Finals the last 20 years, and I'm willing to take this year's team against them.
What's amazing is the only team that's made the NBA Finals the last 20 years that the tail of the tape this team would have some advantages over is the 07 Cleveland Cavaliers. They wouldn't have all the advantages. It would be close.
What advantage?
But the 07, compared to the 07 Cavaliers?
Yeah, give me one advantage this team has.
The second best player on this team as opposed to second best player on that team. That team, the Ira Newble was 4th on that team in minutes, like as opposed to Kyle Korver. There were some advantages. Now that team was better defensively, but again, we're picking some from bad options.
Real bad options.
Like, what's the common denominator? That guy. And so people are asking this morning, is this the most impressive accomplishment of his career? I don't think it is. But this is why. Why do I think, let's boil it down to its most basic premise. Why do I think LeBron's the best basketball player ever? Here's why. He did something in this run that no player in league history could have done or has done. And it's not even close to the most impressive accomplishment of his career. Just think about what we've seen over the last 6 weeks. Game 5 against the Pacers, 2-2. Not only does he put up a 44, 10, and 8, but game-saving block, game-winning 3. Toronto, game 3 against Toronto to basically win the series. The runner to cap off, I think, 38, 6, and 7. And then these last 2 games. In his last 2 games, he averaged 47 minutes while averaging 41, 13, and 10 against a team top to bottom with a better roster, with a better coach that was healthier. That was not healthier, but that was not missing from the guys they went into the series with. They hadn't lost anyone while LeBron had lost Kevin Love. Obviously, the Celtics dealt with serious injuries before the series. And it's not the most impressive accomplishment. I don't know how anyone could argue it is. Like the 3-1, down 3-1 to the Warriors is a bigger accomplishment. I would say the Game 6 against the Boston Celtics in 2012 was a bigger game. But no one else could have done it. No one that we've ever seen could have done it, and no one that I've ever seen in modern history could have said, I'm going to play all 48. But in the modern NBA, nobody goes into a Game 7 saying, oh, yeah, just mark me in for at least 46, and if need be, I'll play the full 48.
Because what happens when he doesn't play for a minute, for 90 seconds, for 2 minutes? He couldn't afford that last night. He couldn't afford that in Boston where the Celtics team was hungry, didn't lose, and then you saw what happened.
I think also I'm willing to conversate over, has there been a team going to the finals that could have been eliminated in the first round? That was a real possibility. You're talking about take a break against the Celtics. If he had taken too long of a break against the Pacers, he could have been out of the playoffs. So I just believe that I haven't seen the lack of support around a great player like we saw in this playoff run that we see LeBron on.
Yeah, and that's why his continued resolute decision, I am going to still trust my teammates. He doesn't hear the commentary during the game. The commentary during the game is killing him. Michael wouldn't be passing the ball here. Kobe wouldn't be passing the ball here.
Right. The only thing I think is the game is different now. The game is different with the three-point line that you have to penetrate to create shots because these guys can't create shots. So I think the commentary is wrong. That's why I don't like to use it in my commentary. How they call the game, it has little to do with what's going on in the NBA. Because look at Kevin Durant. His post-up game and his individual stats, they're not strong enough because his point total and not getting assists, it hurts the overall productivity of the offense in this modern NBA because of the three-point line and because of all the great shooters that we have involved in the game.
And I also think we've become somewhat numb because how much more is 8 straight finals than 7 straight finals? How much more is 7 than 6? To what it really means to play 8 consecutive 100-plus game seasons, to be the best player on a team that plays in the final game of the year 8 years in a row. Bill Russell is the only player to be the best player on a team to do it more times. He did it 10 years in a row. For some context, Bill Russell, the year they made their 8th straight finals, he had 6 Hall of Fame teammates. Over the course of those 10 straight finals he went to, they won 11 series because 9 of them was 1 series to get to the finals. The last one was 2 series to get to the finals. LeBron obviously has won 24 straight series in the East. Magic could only do it 4 times. Bird could only do it 4 times. Kobe, Shaq, Michael, 3 times. The idea that you're going to do this 8 times in a row it's jaw-dropping. You heard Brad Stevens after the game say, man, our season for 2 years in a row has gone on to late May, and I am exhausted. Said LeBron 8 years in a row, it's gone on 3 weeks longer, and he's still able to go play 48 minutes in the 100th game of the year.
And now the folks who thought that might have been better for LeBron's legacy to not make it to the finals because of that losing record, who knows? If Houston ends up winning tonight, there's a good chance that this Cavs could match up with that team. So, I don't know, after all that we talked about.
I'm curious, I want to know your opinion on this, C, because you've been adamant on this. Does this start to sway you a little bit, that the raw finals record can be misleading and an overrated knock on him? Because getting this team to the finals is a wild accomplishment.
It is a wild accomplishment, but when you only have 3 championships and the guy you're comparing to, he has 6. And not only does he have 6, he has 6 MVPs in those finals. That right there is hard to rival. It only can be the totality of the numbers. That's the only way that you're going to be able to approach. Now, I know Nick has a time and date where he caught Jordan and passed Jordan, but to me, that's the most impressive thing, Michael Jordan. 6 finals, 6 MVPs, never reaching game number 7. Yeah, you need to go to a bunch of finals because 6 wins.
6 wins, and I've never once discounted the impressiveness of the 6 wins, the 6 MVPs, and I've never slandered Jordan. He is obviously obviously one of the 2 greatest basketball players ever. But what I would ask the audience who yells about 3 and 5 and in a few weeks might yell about 3 and 6 is, while 3 wins is not 6 wins, taking teams such as this one to the NBA Finals, it's not a championship, but it's damn near close, man.
We got to go. Big game tonight. We're back here tomorrow morning at 6:30 to talk about it. Stay